So it's the Tuesday after Sting's first ever WWE World Heavyweight title match. And this is not the Tuesday I thought we would be having. I'm not surprised that Sting did not win the title, but I am surprised at the carnage that lays around us. Sting did not win the title. This whole thing has gotten really bad. It was a solid match Sunday. Was it the greatest match ever? Of course not. But for a guy who's 56 years old, who, and I said last week I had legit concerns and worries of what this match with Seth Rollins would be like, Sting did a lot more in the match than I anticipated. The fall he took on the table, the announce table, this is what alerted me. Everybody's talking about the buckle bomb. We'll get to that in a second. The fall on the announce table is what alerted me. Obviously, we've all seen a million announce tables break, especially the Spanish announce table. And what's the one thing that they always do? It seems a little bit illogical because you're trying to hurt your opponent, but they always take the monitors out of it because it's the only place in the world, or at least the only place in WWE. You walk all through the backstage, you walk all through Titan Towers and Stanford. Like most places, it's flat screens, 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 because that's the way of the world. It's flat screens today. WWE is preserving the last old bulky 80s monitor, which is like jagged metal edges. And so they take these out of the tables so you don't whack your head off of it, so you don't get electrocuted. But when Sting fell into this Spanish announce table, the monitors were still in it. It almost looked like the fall into the table, like almost like it wasn't planned. It kind of looked like almost like an accident. I don't know if it was or not, but it happened, and Sting whacked his head off of one of these monitors. That is what first alerted me. Then comes the buckle bomb, which yes, after I watched it again, it definitely a little vicious landing, quick snap of the neck by Sting. He's staggering on the ropes. That certainly made whatever was going on worse. Then Rollins feeds Sting in the ropes, and Rollins tells Sting in the ring, duck the line, meaning I'm going to go for a clothesline at you. You duck it. Sting would then hit the ropes and then hit Rollins back. Well, what happens? He feeds Sting in the ropes, says duck the line. Sting didn't just duck, he collapsed. None of this is Sting's fault. But man, the injuries aren't Sting's fault. He didn't do anything wrong. But this run has just been bowling shoe ugly. If JR would let me steal that one, how he's been used, how he's been presented, how he's looked in some regards. This doesn't make him any less great or take away 20 years of accomplishments. It hasn't even been a year. We don't know if this is the end or not. But it certainly feels like it, especially as we're hearing some of the injuries that WWE is going to be leery of putting him back in the ring, and you can't say you blame him. And I can't help but think, I know it hasn't even been a year, but I can't help but think the only other top stars from WCW that I can think of who had a less thrilling WWE run than this would be Goldberg and DDP. And that's just a fact. That's just me looking at this here. As for Seth Rollins, from what I heard, it has not blown up into a big thing backstage, at least not yet, but it also hasn't gone unnoticed by those in the back that in a matter of 2 months, Rollins has been involved with the injury to John Cena and an injury to Sting. Injuries happen. It's not ballet, but it hasn't gone unnoticed. 412-320-7925. You got something to say? You big? You smart? You talkative? Call the number. We got the next hour to talk. It is Gladiators of the Cage presenting you Wrestling Reality on Trib Live Radio.